Hi everyone, Teresa Aker here with Glenda Fordham. I'm so happy you're here today, Glenda, on Life After 50 with Teresa Aker. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm dealing with the heat. I
Mm.
decided I'm going to lock the door, lock the windows, crank up the AC, and I'm just sitting here having a wonderful time chatting with you.
I love it. You're so wonderful. I've always enjoyed our time. We connected a while ago, and you know what? You're just such a nice, lovely, warm person. I'm so glad you came on
Thank you.
today. So, over Life After 50, that's what we're here about. And you gave me a wonderful list. And you know what? It's the very things that we're all thinking about. Why are these things, why do they happen when we get older? What's going on here? So the show is going to be about things like you've offered to
Yeah,
talk about. We're going to have just conversations, questions,
yeah,
fun with Life After 50. Okay?
yeah,
So
yeah. See
let's
how we
start.
can overcome the challenges that are thrown at us every day, uh,
Exactly.
or see how we can tolerate them.
If I can remember what I went into the next room for, we could start there.
I know what you mean.
Right?
Yeah, I had
Get
to
in there and
go
go,
over to
what?
my kitchen 3 times
Right?
to remember to get a glass of water.
And where the heck did I put my glasses as I feel it? Oh, they're on my head. Yeah, we do those things. So
Yeah,
let's talk. We had a list from you, Glenda. I
yeah,
really appreciate it. So I'm going to bring it back up here. So one of the first questions you said was, why are restaurant menus, posters, signage now all in such small print? 100%. So small that they have to take pictures of them with ourselves in order to enlarge the reading. I do that all the time, Glenda.
it's
Let's go with
horrible.
that.
Yeah, it's horrible. Of course, the worst thing is, and once you hit 50 and then continue, it seems that every other week you're being prescribed medications. I take 13 pills a day, seven in the morning, six at night, and they the drugstores dispense the meds in these little tiny pills
They do.
containers, and I have to use my glasses plus a magnifying glass, and I'm my arms aren't long enough. But it's so tiny. You could take something incorrectly and end up comatose on the floor. And I've fallen and I can't get up. I've fallen and I can't speak.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it's really annoying. And even the little directions they give, documents that they put inside the bag, again, magnifying glass. What is this for? How many am I supposed to take? If I feel this way, what do I do? A big bugaboo of mine is menus. It seems that all the restaurants and bars and everything cater to the 20 somethings that have eyesight like a cheetah.
Exactly.
I used to have great eyesight. And then when I hit 50, I had to start wearing glasses. And I remember going to this restaurant, and if a lot of your followers here are in Toronto, they'll know it was a Thai restaurant. It was all shishi poo and whatever. And it went into the old sort of sub basement space of what used to be the Spotted Dick pub at Young and Bloor. So, anyway, I decided I love Thai, and I'm sure you do,
I
Teresa.
do. I love it.
So I stumbled down these stairs. They should have put a slide, it was so steep. But anyway, I go in there and it's dark. It's 5 o'clock at night and it's so dark. And I look around and everybody's got their cell phones out with their lights. I sit down, I'm given a menu and it's blank. It's no, if you look closely, madam. It's what? So I had my cell phone out and couldn't read it. It's that little tiny scripty stuff. I had no idea whether I was ordering curry or pad thai. Excuse me. And it's so funny. The majority of patrons had to be at least 45 or 50 years old. There were a couple of youngsters in there, but everybody's going through the same thing. And I found that is a regular thing. New restaurants open, and you have these fancy schmancy menus with scrolly fonts and tiny. And it's just give me a roll and butter. Oh, that'll do.
I know.
Yeah.
I hear
Have,
you.
have you
It's
found that?
Yeah, like it's crazy. It honestly, it's crazy. And you mentioned taking the cell phone. I've done that. Take a
Yeah,
picture of something, blow it up, and you're
yeah,
right in the restaurant. You're just like, what the heck? Like,
yeah,
and the pictures never match. Have you noticed they say,
yeah,
this is my pet peeve.
yeah,
This drives me nuts in the restaurant. They have a picture of a item. You think, oh, this is
yeah,
a really nice meal. And
yeah.
then they say, that doesn't come with it. You have to add this. And you're like, where does it say that? On the menu. You can't read the menu. So you're relying on the picture. And then you're finding out, no, if you want bacon with that egg, you got to add
Yeah.
the bacon on the cost. And then you got to add the toast. What kind of toast do you want? We got that. Do you want fruit with that? It says right on the plate, it comes with fruit. No, read it right here. It doesn't. And you're just like, what?
I know. And I look at the parsley garnish and it's like, that's an extra dollar. It's like,
Yeah, it's
get out.
true. It's true. It's just
Oh,
like they're out after us, aren't they?
it's insane. And oh, another thing talking about that, you buy anything new, you go to one of the stores that sells you phones or televisions. Do you remember when you bought something, you got a little guidebook, a manual?
Yeah.
And now I go into one of the places to buy electronics, whatever, and I get some 20 something giving me an eye roll and a, go online. Oh,
Exactly.
I don't know. For instance, this is the worst offender. You see this?
Yeah.
There's no guide for this. I have no
I
idea.
have the exact same model.
Yeah, I have no idea what half of these things do. I was forced to change to this, whatever the heck it is. I used to work for, I was their PR person, and I'm like, this is ridiculous.
It's something. I have it as well.
It's horrible. And at least I've got most of the nets, the digi nets that I had previously subscribed to, and the old fashioned one with the big ugly box with the light on and the time on. But these things, even the technician who came said, he didn't know what half these buttons did.
Oh, is that right, eh?
And I'm like, what do these little dots do? Oh my God. And again, you call their helpline and you get some 20 something and you can hear them going online on the phone. I'm like, listen, sweetheart, I'll come over there and smack you.
We were brought up with technology. So over 50, if you're over 50, maybe you
Yeah,
started getting into it. But honestly, we weren't brought up with it. So there needs to be a bit of patience. You're right, with the younger folks saying, okay, you know what? You
yeah,
guys weren't brought up with it. It's like asking a baby to run when they haven't even started to crawl yet. Once they get the hang of it, they're good. Doesn't mean they can never do it. It just
I've
means
made,
they need a
I,
chance.
yeah, I've made suggestions and said, you need a special department, just maybe 2 or 3 people that deal specifically with seniors, although I hate that term, but deal with people who are getting flustered. Do you remember back in the 80s when you got your VCR? How many people couldn't figure out how to make that the time stop
Right?
flashing?
They flashed all night
Yeah.
long,
But the
12
thing is,
o'clock.
I was good with that. The VCR, then the DVD player, my stereo units for I went from the turntable to the CDs. I fixed all that. But you get to a certain age and it's what the hell is this?
I know.
We've been paying our bills for decades.
That's it.
Exactly. And I feel like yelling at these kids. We pay for your salary through our blood, sweat, tears, and monthly bills. Have a little respect.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And I think, and in fairness to them, we can say
Yep.
they don't see it from our side.
Yeah.
They've been brought up with it, so they don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, we could certainly get a little help from the technology side of things. And
Yeah.
I had an incident today of trying to go live on Facebook. I can go live. I've done it before,
Yeah.
but I didn't know how to bring you on live, Glenda.
Why
I'm
not?
gonna figure it out. We're going to come back and do another one because I'm
Yep.
determined. But it's not that I can't figure things out. It's like you want to get things going. I'm
Yeah.
under time constraints. I want
Yeah.
my audience to be able to follow me along. It wasn't working right away. I don't have time to worry about that.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back, figure that out. But it should be a lot simpler.
Oh
Like
yeah. And you
really,
ask,
and I looked it up online, Glenda, just so you know, it said
yeah.
add your person. I look at it, said push the invite button. There's no invite button. I don't know where it
Yep.
is. And
Yep. It's
probably a young person will go, oh, here it is.
yeah.
Whatever, where is it?
You go onto like the various social media platforms, they have the I need help, and then you go on, you press that, and it's ask your question, and you're expected to know all the lingo, blah, blah, and then it directs you to a list of questions that are similar. And then you go and look at the whole world adding to that with try this.
Right, yeah.
Susie in Hong Kong says press that button. You and I, we don't have time for that.
That's the thing. We're busy people. And so we're keeping up with technology as best we can. But
Yeah.
you are absolutely right. We are busy people. I didn't have time to sit for hours. I did 3 shows today. I
Yeah.
wanted to bring you on. It did not happen. That's a fail on my part. I'm patient. I'll come back. We'll do it again. But
Yep.
you're right. We need people who can help us while we're doing it. And
Yeah.
those chats, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It drives me, oh, so frustrated. They say chat and they ask your question. It said, and it comes up with, I don't know what that is. Can you rephrase
Yeah.
it? You're like, no, that's what I want to ask.
Yeah.
Did we help you? No. No,
And they
you
don't
did not.
care. They
Yeah,
don't
now
care.
I'm really upset, right?
Oh, yeah. When I got my new TV a few years ago, and we don't have a manual, go to the website. I go to the website, and again, little tiny print that I get to blow up. There's 110 pages, and I'm going, I just want to turn the freaking thing on.
It's true. It's brutal, the things that we're
Yeah.
going through. So this forum is to help with everything. Now,
Yeah.
I just had a wonderful chiropractor on who talked about medical and those things. I'm going to be bringing, Glenda, a lot of these things forward to help people. If you're
Yeah.
out there listening to my show and you're a tech person and you're young and you know what you're doing, us 50-year-olds want you to come on and let's do a
Yeah.
show so we can get some help here, because we need help with these.
Yeah. That kind of leads into the next point that I send
Which
to
I'm
you.
going to bring up. We're going to do that. So go ahead with your next point.
Yeah,
Read it.
I'm sure you've noticed it as well. Different individuals, but mostly companies or people fishing, they put a picture of a whole bunch of old technology or a list of things, and they start with, you must be old if you.
Yes, I've seen those,
Like,
Glenda.
excuse the heck out of me.
Yeah.
I know how to use a PBX switchboard. One ringy dingy, the cords and everything.
Yeah.
It was my first job out of school in 1969, 1970. I was the relief switchboard operator for Price Waterhouse, huge chartered accountants, international firm, but it was in their Perth, Western Australia office. And I loved it. I could figure that out really easy. And there's a
Yeah,
lot of flipping around.
that's
I
right.
used a regular typewriter, then moved up to the IBM Selectric and then the cell. I used to do a dressograph multilith. They're these horrible things where you type stencils, put them on a drum, and you press a button and it prints. I still have my operator's certificate.
I can
That's
tell, Glenda, I can go one further with technology. Let me tell
Yep,
you, back years and years ago in 1988, I took my real
yep,
estate license. Now
yep,
watch this. You know how on MLS or any
yep.
kind, we all know realtor.com.
Multiple listings and yeah,
Yeah. The original, I guess, computer system that we had
yep,
for it, you had to pick up this heavy phone and it dialed into, and you hear all these sounds before you could connect. And then you had to wait and hope it got to the other side. Let me tell you,
yeah,
I even typed offers with onion skin in the middle. Do you know
yep,
what onion skin is?
yep.
We did
Oh,
everything. And you
yep,
know what? There's nothing wrong with that, because we started with the basics and we moved our way up. So you're doing exactly that. You worked with the
yeah,
basics, but you're
yeah,
intelligent, you're smart, you did the huge corporation, you were able to do that.
yeah. I'd rather post reverse things saying you must be too young if you ever use this, blah, blah, blah. Because here's a great example of young people. They're not old, but years ago, I worked at a film and music school that was headquartered in the CBC building up on the 6th floor, whatever it was. And do you remember when we had that huge power outage, all the Eastern Seaboard? Everything was down. No cell phones, no this, no electricity. being in CBC was great because they had their emergency power source, a generator, so at least we could get the news. But I was teaching a class of adults, and I'm talking everything 18, 19 up to early 40s. And okay, everything's down. We got the news. They're all freaking. A couple of them I wanted to slap because stop panicking. We're here. Everything's okay. So we went out. I got everybody out of the class I was teaching. And it's like this one girl, late 30s. What do we do? What do we do? Oh my God. It was like the Chicken Little, the sky's falling. Blah, blah. We'll never get down. We're trapped here. And I said, I pointed, I said, they're called stairs. She did, and a whole bunch of people, excuse me, the bra slipping, the staff were all wandering around. I'm going, excuse me, stairs, we go downstairs. Oh, and it's like, how dumb is that?
Isn't that
Stop,
something?
think it through.
That's the big thing. Just stop and think. You're right, Glenda.
Yeah,
They have to be patient and they have to think things through.
yeah,
And you're right. And which brings it all back to where we are. There, I realize that the young people are the next in line. They're the ones
yeah.
running the world. I totally get that. But we have a huge amount of baby boomers that are
Oh
coming
yeah.
through, and we're not stupid. We just are, we have not been brought up with this all this way, and they have to understand that. And
Oh yeah.
if they start to be a little more compassionate about that, they're going to get a lot further because
Oh
we're the
yeah.
people that are helping them.
And learn to respond, not react. Big difference there. And all of these people I was herding down the stairs, they were reacting. It's,
Yeah,
oh my God, me, I'm going to be trapped. No, it's not about you. It's about us. We
everybody.
will find a way. I
Absolutely.
look at it this way.
Well, that's why we love you, Glenda. The next one is we need more discounts for seniors. We worked for 40 years, pay taxes, and try to now survive a minimal pension payouts and barely cover rent, food, clothing, wine. Everything should be discounted once we hit 65. And I would argue maybe even 60, the way the
Yeah,
world is going right now, Glenda, on that.
yeah,
So let's do bring that up. And you know what? I've talked to people in their 70s, even into their 80s, and have said, I pay taxes my whole life. And I'm a retired person. I'm on a pension, a fixed income, and the taxes keep going up. And I live in a municipality where I actually ran on council once. I stood for
yeah.
elected position, and my platform was on taxes, on
Oh
reducing
yeah,
working with taxes, reducing them, getting them
yeah,
level, because it's just been unbelievable. So how is a senior supposed to have a fixed income, really, unless they're doing a
yeah,
side hustle? They can't grow the income. In fact, it may go the other way with the
yeah,
cost of living. So it would seem to me that
yeah,
there has to be a better way to help the seniors get those taxes down, or at least alleviate some of perhaps their property taxes,
yeah,
things like that, where, yeah, we need the remuneration, but there's a young generation coming up that can pay, and
yeah,
we've done our time. How long are we
yeah.
supposed to pay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful to Rexall and Shoppers Drug Mart. Rexall Tuesday senior discount, Thursday for shoppers, which is great. But I like to see these grocery stores.
Yeah,
It's because I have diabetes too. I've got to be very careful what I eat. And of course, I cheat at least once a week, chocolate bars.
yeah, we
But
all
to
do.
eat healthily and to eat decent food, not just this huge factory created bread and stuff like that. We need to be able to afford it. And it's really brutal what you're paying for even apples and vegetables that are healthy or meats. Now, near me is a No Frills that there's a new franchisee there. And honestly, the prices have gone through the roof. And I'm going, okay, you say no frills, but all I see is frills.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's a lot of things. Thank goodness for the TTC. They have a nice seniors discount and you can travel all day on $2.50 or whatever. But there's so many other things. And I would love to see seniors' days, as I said, in the grocery stores, some of the clothing stores. They've shut the bay down here at Young and Bloor a couple of years ago, but the bay is gone. So,
It's
why
gone.
not? And we don't all want to buy clothes online. During COVID, I tried that. you'd be surprised what I have in my closet that I can't wear because the
Well,
fit's
yeah,
wrong.
you're
And
right.
yeah, and I can't afford this. And yeah, here's a winter coat for $35. Yeah, but you know,
Right?
you order a certain size. I always go size it up just to give you some leeway. I challenge any kid's Barbie to fit in
Yeah,
that.
no, I'm with you because it's hard to buy online. And I
Oh
like
yeah,
online shopping. I truly do.
yeah,
But you're right. It's so important that they get it right on the
yeah,
sizes. And because
yeah.
and then they say you can return it. Now you're paying to return it and
Yeah,
it's like,
it
oh,
takes a while to get the reverse. Seniors, I remember when we had clothing stores like it and whatever. And honestly, there's the ugliest colors, fabrics, designs. And it's just because I've turned a certain age doesn't mean that my fashion sense and style should be discounted and just, it doesn't matter. Here's a bag with colors, stick it over your head.
and that's a big key, isn't it? Because the
Yeah.
person designing is thinking 50's old. It's not old.
No,
60's not old. 70's not old. 80's
no.
not old. Honestly, it's how
Oh
you said
yeah.
earlier, to your point, Glenda, it's up here,
Oh
right?
yeah.
I don't wear old
Exactly.
clothes. I
No,
don't. Neither do
no. And
you.
yeah, and I got to know a number of fabulous fashion designers. I did the promotions and did a big publicity stunt when America's Next Top Model came to Toronto with a live show, and it was down at the convention center. Excuse me. So I got to know a lot of the Canadian designers that were showcasing, and they're all like 20 somethings, and they're all stick thin girls or guys, and I said to them, why don't you design for older people? You can take charge of the market there. And it's like, hey, there's no money. Besides, at that age, they don't care.
Is that what they say?
Yeah,
Now, and I would argue that the biggest amount of dollars is coming through the baby boomers right now.
yeah. And we are a generation who is loyal.
We are.
We're probably the last generation to be loyal. If somebody makes something or gives something to us that makes us feel good, happy, works well for us, we'll stick with you. We'll buy more of your stuff. There's nobody out there now. And it's really sad. Right up until I hit my mid 40s, I was skinny, legs up to here, boobs out to here, but the rest of me was really nice. And now all of a sudden, all the meds I'm on, one of the side effects is weight gain, and there's just nothing. So I've got nice little, this was Walmart in the States, and it's a nice
It's nice. I
little
like the
dress,
color.
and it's pretty. Oh
It
God, the
is.
colors in the States are much better. But everything else is just horrible.
Yeah, and I am sorry because the meds do that to people,
Yeah,
and you have there has to be an understanding for that.
yeah,
You mentioned the pharmacists for the costs, if they give a seniors discount, that's
yeah,
wonderful. I agree with you. Even I have to admit, sometimes they have like seniors, you get coffee a little cheaper if you go through
yeah,
McDonald's if you're a senior.
yeah,
So there
yeah,
are corporations that are trying,
yeah,
but we need so much more, and it's not because we don't have the money. It's just because we also are acutely aware that we have a long way to go and we're
yeah.
not building up our income. We're
Oh
not
yeah,
adding to it. So we have to be aware of where our money's
yeah,
going, but that doesn't mean we don't spend. That's
yeah,
the
exactly.
misconception.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow, pension day. I can buy food. But
Yes.
but thanks to blasted COVID, 2 years of COVID, I was able to live on my investments and my savings. It's all gone.
Yeah.
So it's wow. I'm sure a lot of your viewers and your followers went through the same thing with COVID. It hits us single ladies who don't have a ring on it because we've got no other income. You know,
That's the big key. And I would add
yeah,
to that, I'm also single. I lost my
yeah,
husband in 2021. And so I'm a widow.
yeah,
And it does affect you. It absolutely 100%. There's
yeah,
not a second income there. So I have to be aware of that. And I had to keep working, and I'll be working a lot longer than I expected because of
yeah,
that. And we have to be aware of those things, which also, as you're sitting here and talking to me, and you're so generous with your thoughts, I would add to everyone out there, we're going to keep having these shows. We're going to bring on professionals that can help you with the
Mhm.
financial growth, what you can do as a senior without that extra income. That's one of the questions that we have on the list that I definitely want to bring forward. So
Yeah.
I'm working on bringing professional people, lawyers, accountants, people like that, and they've already agreed to come on. So I'm grateful for that.
Oh,
Just
how
wanted to mention,
fantastic.
yeah, I
And
wanted to mention.
maybe some of your other followers might reach out to you with discounts that they find that are hidden.
Excellent
For
idea.
instance, McDonald's, they let seniors have $1 coffee,
They
but
do.
that was not known until somebody made mention on TV or something, and then we all knew about it. But they don't tell you.
And we should double check and make sure they're still doing that. I believe they
Yeah,
are, but
yeah,
let's double check that. And perhaps McDonald's needs to do a little bit more too, reach out
yeah,
to the seniors in different ways they can. And McDonald's been around a long time. I respect their business
yeah,
growth, but we're still there. I see a
yeah,
lot of seniors going into McDonald's, having a coffee, and they sit there and they just
yeah,
enjoy themselves in these restaurants.
yeah,
And it's not, again, because we're not spending, we're just more acutely aware of our
yeah.
each dollar matters.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I address the taxes too on properties. I'd like to see the governments work a little harder on the people who've paid endlessly their
Yeah,
taxes. And then so they paid when they worked, they paid their income tax, they paid when they bought their property. They're paying property taxes every single year. They go up every single time. They're doing all of these things. They have done their time. There's got
mm,
to be a way to relieve the pressure off the seniors who have earned their right. I realize they need the remuneration, but let's see if we can't find a way to help them too. I don't have the answers.
yeah,
Let's see if we can't find people who can.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, so if I hear of any little discounts or any specials, I'm
Perfect.
going to let you know, at
Perfect.
least for the downtown Toronto core.
And I would ask the viewers too, if you're in any area, and I know there's price matching at, was it called? I was just there last week. Oh, darn it, isn't that terrible?
No frills
No
or
frills, that's it.
no frills.
No
Yeah,
frills. Thank
there's
you.
an app you can get, and what's it called? Flip or I don't know,
Flip. It
something.
was flip.
Flip. Yeah.
Flip.
I tried to do it and I couldn't get to strawberries.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I'm going, now what do I do? Nobody could figure it out. So,
Okay, so somebody has to work on that app, but at
yeah,
least, so I will give kudos to No
yeah,
Frills because they definitely have price matching. I was
yeah,
in our Whitby store and they definitely have it. And
yeah,
let's work on that app. Let's see if we can't get a technical
yeah,
person in here to help people with that. That's an excellent
yeah.
idea.
And more seniors discounts for live shows. I haven't been to the symphony. I haven't been to anything. It's cost prohibitive.
It
It
is.
really is.
So one, you got to pay for transportation. As you said,
Yeah,
we do have the cheaper. I
yeah,
know Presto has their
yeah,
discounts and so forth, but you're right. To get around first, you have to get around.
yeah,
Then you go to the theater, it costs you heavily. So
yeah,
we do need some seniors discounts
yeah,
there for sure.
yeah,
For sure. So let's talk about our next group, which actually is a nice
yeah,
growth into there. So TV shows, you actually put that on here. TV shows and movies that portray older men and women as dozy old dears. You are absolutely right. Too many films starring legends that show us sex-starved, randy retirees cruising for action, something to be ridiculed or pitied. So I get what you're saying.
yeah,
So Glenda, what we have to do is take our image. Never mind the spinster. Let's get off
yeah,
that. A lot of
yeah.
people use those words, old ladies, things like that, where men are more dignified, they're bachelors, they're
They're
you know,
studs.
studs as they age. And I know there's lots of old men
Yeah,
actors that are dating the young girls. Okay,
yeah,
that's an anomaly. Most men in their 80s are not dating 20-year-olds, let's face
yeah,
it. So let's talk about realities here. You're right. In the shows, they depict the older people the wrong way.
yeah,
They absolutely
exactly.
do. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, they're not making a contribution to a scene on a, say, for instance, a TV show. Most of the time, they're all something to be chuckled at, and oh, look, and isn't that cute? And in the movies as well, Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, they've done a couple of movies where they're wacky old broads and, oh, we're going to go and find a man. Let's go to whatever. and I can't watch them. It makes me shudder. Jane Fonda, she's gorgeous. But yeah, it's like I'm single. I'd like to find a man, but most of the men that would fit my criteria are either gay or dead. Oh, what's the point? But
Okay,
you know,
then.
with
That's not going to work if they're dead. No.
digging up bones. But it's just sad how young filmmakers portray older people or the young writers. Now, I've been in the film business for years, and I go to online film festivals, this, that, and the other. I work with filmmakers,
Yes,
and I
you do.
see casting notices. Older woman, 35. That's not an older woman.
No, it
It's
isn't.
ridiculous. And they don't write parts for older ones. And the film schools around the world, when they do their script writing, screenplay classes, they don't encourage young writers to write for older people in an intelligent way.
Yeah.
We are not cartoon creatures. We're we're just real people. And without us, you little kids wouldn't be here. So have a
Well, and there is a respect factor, isn't there?
yeah, yeah. And I just get fed up with seeing, even in commercials, older people portrayed as ninnies, twits, numbnuts, whatever.
I agree. And I don't like shows that depict the parents
Yeah,
in the shows as idiots.
yeah,
I don't like that, where the
yeah,
kids are full-grown adults and they treat their parent, oh, here comes my mother. Oh, she drove me crazy. They
yeah,
do these things. That's so unfair
yeah,
because we are caring parents who care about their children, and we
yeah,
should be depicted in that manner. Absolutely.
yeah. And there's
I don't
very
like that.
little parenting going on these days. I've seen mothers with small children in strollers giving them the cell phone. Here, watch a cartoon or
Oh,
do that. It's outrageous.
oh, I haven't seen that. I'm
Oh,
sure it's
yeah,
coming.
there's a lot of that. And it's just teach these people to appreciate, teach the kids to appreciate what came before them. And I don't know about you. Do you watch Jeopardy every night?
I used to. I don't, you know what? I'm a YouTube junkie
Yeah,
now, but I
yeah,
did. I used to watch Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune
yeah. Well,
every
I
night.
love Jeopardy, and
Yeah.
to me, it's keeping me sharp.
Yeah, it's
And I
good.
sit here, and there are nights when all the contestants, probably the oldest would be 40, and they have no clue about what came before the year they were born. And when I was growing up in the outback in Australia, we'd go to the library like once every 3 weeks, and I get a whole bunch of books. And I would read about turn of last century history, silent movie stars, writers. I was so fascinated by history, what came before me. And now, unless it's on Wikipedia or Google, they don't know and they don't care. Because you got to know what came before so you don't make the same mistakes.
And you
And
can't always trust the online information
yeah,
anyway, Glenda.
Wikipedia, anybody can go in there and change it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
So
you
it's
have to be careful what you're looking up
Oh,
online.
yeah. I've actually changed a Wikipedia entry for a client, an American actor. And he was saying to me, "Can you do something?" Sure, no problem. And I got rid of some crap or misinformation and it's done.
Yeah.
And it was so sad.
Yeah, you got to be careful. And they've proven that
Yeah.
do not read everything that or believe everything that you
Yeah.
read on.
But if you have an understanding of what came before you, and if you're in the film or television business, see what happened before. Most people have no clue that Desi Arnaz created the three-camera sitcom in studio with a live audience, which of course begat I Love Lucy.
Do.
Desi Arnaz was written off as, oh, he's a Cuban bongo player. No, the guy created so much
Yeah.
and improved technology. And thank goodness he filmed it as opposed to put it, I forget the term, but a lot of the films were just, you see it once, it's gone. Desi filmed everything so we can, to this day, still see I Love Lucy episodes.
So that's something I learned. I had no
Yeah,
idea. So thank you for
yeah,
bringing that forward. And I
yeah,
wouldn't have known that. So it's
yeah,
good to know those things. And there's
yeah,
nothing wrong with explaining that to people, bringing the
yeah,
nostalgia forward and saying, this is how we got here. And on top of that, there's Listen, I'm all for technology. I think AI is great. It's going to help us down the road. I totally can see that opening up, but we can't lose the fact that we have a
Yeah,
personal touch that's important too. Would you agree with
exactly.
that?
Exactly. And AI, all the people that are presenting EI services, we need real artists to paint or sketch. We need real sculptors, not an AI image of something that's been created. Music. You don't have to be able to read music, and you never have to touch an instrument. You
That's
press
right.
something on your keyboard, AI creates a song for you.
That's right.
That's outrageous.
There and writing, I would argue that
Yeah.
writing books and so forth,
Oh, yeah.
yes, you could do it. Yes, it makes it easier. But let's face it, the talent is,
Yeah.
we don't want to lose that talent
And the
because,
passion. Yeah.
yeah, because now what happens down the road? Like, where are we going with all this? We talked about our wonderful Ron Corbu plays
Yeah.
beautiful music. Oh my goodness. We don't
Yeah.
want to lose that talent.
Oh,
We-
sadly, the young ones coming up, I hate to say it, but they're a bunch of lazy people. And it's be creative from your soul and your inner soul. But everything that's shown to them now, oh, do this, do that, do this. And even teachers in a lot of schools is here's the course, go learn it yourself. And
And
it's
I
sad.
think COVID contributed to that as well with the teachers, and it just made it
Yeah.
convenient for them now to be able
Yeah.
to do that. And I know there's wonderful teachers too. I'm not negating that most teachers are, but
Yeah.
when we're doing it all online, it's so hard for the children.
Yeah.
They need that interaction. They need to have that
Yeah.
experience in the classroom where they can ask those questions and feel confident enough that it's okay to ask those questions and to be
Oh,
part
yeah.
of a tribe, if you will. Growing up, we're all stumbling through the same thing. Would you
Oh,
agree?
yeah. Do you know, I still have my school exercise books from primary school in the late 60s. And
Oh,
I look at that, and then I look at my report cards. A, 100%, blah, blah, blah. And the note at the bottom, Glenda's handwriting is very bad. She could do better. And
I used to get Teresa talks too much in class.
and it's so funny. I look back on that, and it's almost as if, yeah, when I grow up, I'm never going to have to write. I can use computers.
That's right. So
But
there is a benefit. There's a
yeah,
benefit, but we have to realize that
yeah,
there's also the human authentic side of things. We
yeah,
can't lose that.
yeah. Just do the work. And now that I'm aging, not so gracefully, I love reading history books. And I will either go online or go to the library. I will pick up books. I was fascinated by the Charge of the Light Brigade in the Crimea War.
Oh,
I'm fascinated by the Anzacs at Gallipoli in World War One. And I've gone back and I've learned, I'm going, okay, there's only so much you can learn at school. But
yeah,
now, with all the access to information, I can fill it in.
you
It's
can.
fascinating.
You
I can
can.
feel more books coming from me.
Yeah, and so as we start
Yeah,
rolling here, because we've been a long time as well
yeah,
today, I have two questions for you. Will you
yeah.
come back and do another episode?
Of course.
We're going to do it
Can
live
do.
though, because I'm
Yeah.
determined.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And this,
Absolutely.
and absolutely. And I knew you wrote some books. So I want to do it. So we have two channels going here. Success Diaries is going to be, I want Glenda to come back and we're going to do it this way for your
Yeah.
books. And for over 50, we're going to do it live and we're going to continue this conversation. Would that be
Oh,
okay with you?
I'm absolutely okay. Hey, I'd like to sell some books. I've
Yeah.
got
So
the most incredible kids' books.
you,
Um,
and you're welcome to plug it right here, right now.
yeah, I have a wonderful publisher called Barn Mice Books, and I just love my little characters that I swear I've channeled them from above.
Archie the Mouse.
Archie the barn mouse, and he went out to find a new friend, new friends, and a new home. And then in the second book, he helps his best friend, who happens to be a big Clydesdale horse called Winston or Winnie, and helps him find his granddaughter, the little filly. So
Oh,
Archie finds a new home, was the first book, and then Archie finds the filly.
oh,
And I have the most amazing illustrator, Elise Darby. She got exactly what I wanted when I described the characters.
kudos to Elise.
And there's book 3 and book 4 up there. I just have to get it on paper. But each of the books, they've got little mouse footprints going through, connecting the pages. And at the back, there's coloring. So
Oh,
little kids can color. And these are books that parents or grandparents can read to the little ones and create that little reader. So there's that. And we still have copies left. And I wrote 4 books on auto racing. Now, I'm a freak for NASCAR and Formula One. And there's a beautiful publisher, Overtime Books. They came to me and said, "You know about NASCAR." They saw me writing and everything. Would you write about stock car races? And yeah. And then the last one I did was the history of women auto races. Do you know there was so little research going back to the turn of the last century, and yet there were so many women driving the world in rallies across the Gobi
oh,
Desert. It took me forever, and now my book is a research tool for people.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Glenda, you're so talented,
Oh,
honestly. And you have a
thank you.
PR company. You're just such a successful person. I've always thought you were just terrific, and I admire your success story.
Thank you.
So thank you for talking about the books. We're going to have another show, and we're
Yep.
going to have those books brought on so you can talk
Yep.
about them more physically. And then we're
Yep.
going to have a live show on over 50, and we're going to
Yep.
continue this conversation. Glenda, thank you. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Teresa.
You're
And I
fantastic.
feel with the Golden Girls.
Yes,
Some days I'm Blanche, other days I'm Dorothy.
I
Today
love it.
I'm halfway in between today.
I love it. No, that's great. I think, listen, I'm so grateful you came on. You have got such energy and love and heart. I just love everything about it. I'm so grateful you came on. And you're going to be my first live one I'm going to get a techie guy on here.
Yeah.
We're going to get some help with that. And
Yep.
we're going to go live. And
Yep.
if it's okay with you, we're going to have you as a regular.
I think I could do. Where am I gonna go?
Good. Awesome. I love that. I love
Okay, my
that.
love.
We can help people. And then when we get live, everybody can jump into our show together.
Groovy.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. So
Bye,
everyone, this
everybody.
is Glenda Fordham. Don't miss our next episode. Do watch this one. I'm going to have all your, now I didn't ask you, do you have a YouTube channel or anything like that?
Yes, I do. And everything is linked via my website, which is fordhampr.ca. And that's FORDHAMPR.ca. And all of my social handles are at Fordham PR. So
Perfect.
I got Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky. Oh my God, there's so many new ones.
Perfect. So what
Yay,
I'm going to do is put all of that into the show notes,
thank you.
and then we're going to have that posted. It'll be on YouTube. So everyone do reach out to Glenda, go to her YouTube channel, I'm going to have all
Yeah,
her links here so that you'll be
yeah,
able to go on and do subscribe to her channel. That helps her bring good content, and certainly subscribe to my channel. This is Teresa Aker from Success Diaries with Life After 50 with Teresa Aker. It's a new show. So I'm very grateful that Glenda came on. You're going to
mhm.
see it in my new channel. So I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you for your support as always. Have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you all very soon.
Bye, everyone.